I really don't know what it is about this particular brewer, but I got a bone to pick with it. This right here, let's move these out the way, is a Hario V60 Mugen. They say that this brewer is pretty good with a one pour dripper. As you can see, it's more so on the outside where it protrudes out. Doesn't matter, right? Because we're talking about the inside. And this is where we actually put the filter. So we put the filter inside, right? But as you can see, there's no ridges really to affect the flow of the water. So in theory, it slows it down, right? You get that crazy wacky when you started doing your pour overs type of brews where they're all on the ridges, on the sides and everything, because you probably do one pour, or you just keep pouring in the middle, or you don't have any technique, or you don't really know what the hell you're doing in the beginning. But in this case, this brewer is actually designed that way. It's supposed to get the grounds to stick on the sides and for it to extract extremely slow. Why do I have a gripe with this brewer? Well, I think I've been bamboozled. I did a test already, which you probably already seen, but this one's gonna be a little different. And the reason why I feel that I've been bamboozled is because this does the same thing. This is the regular Hario V60. This is a plastic brewer. This is a plastic brewer. And as you see inside of the brewer of the Hario V60, it also has channeling and all this stuff in order to direct flow of the coffee. But when I'm analyzing it or looking at it, I realized that the Hario V60 isn't as exaggerated as it should be, if that makes any sense. Meaning that this brewer right here, essentially the same. I think I kind of already proved that, but we're gonna put it through its paces at least one more time. We're gonna put it through its paces with this one right here. I'm gonna say the new kid on the block. These are all Japanese type of brewers, but this one is extremely exaggerated. You see the sides, you see that the way that it actually promotes fast airflow. I'm not saying fast or slow. One is better than the others, just preferences. They still brew a good cup of coffee. But I think if you wanted to really show a difference between these brewers, you'll probably do something like this. And I know the Hario V60, they just came out with another brewer that's kind of like this, is exaggerated enough, promotes fast flow, but I think this is all you need if you're picking between these two, okay? I think this is a really cool brewer. I think it has advantages. I think it's really cool. I think it's worth the money, believe it or not. And it's a fun brewer. The Hario V60 is fun too. And the reason why I liked this one so much at the time is because it promoted me to get out of my comfort zone, push past the things that I would have normally done with the Hario V60, because Hario V60, you can do 2, 3, 4 pours or whatever kind of recipe that you want to do and still make a fantastic cup. But since this one literally really doesn't have any ridges, any promotion of airflow, it's not there. So you have to kind of look at things differently. You have to present different recipes in order to bring out the best in the coffees. So essentially that's what we're going to be doing today. We're gonna do a gauntlet, so to speak. It's all gonna be about flavor, taste, a little bit to an extent. I don't really care about how these taste. I should, but what I've noticed is that they taste really more so the same. We're gonna see the extractions, see how different they are with the extractions with our 3 recipes. We're gonna be doing this in a way to where you can't say, no, you poured wrong this way, you did it incorrectly, whatnot, whatever. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be using a 1:15 ratio, 200 degrees Fahrenheit brew. We're gonna be using my new best friend. Not my new best friend, but just a friend in general. It's a Hario V60 Trip Assist. Works really well. We're gonna have simple recipes. As you can see, it fits on here perfectly fine. See, even for this one, it fits. And we're gonna be using the regular Hario V60 filters because all of them could take it. So we're gonna be doing a 1 pour, we're gonna be doing a 2 pour, and a 3 pour. And then we're gonna take the TDS of them just to get the strength. And then we're gonna conclude from there. But I think from my assessment, from my understanding of all this stuff, if you wanna buy brewers, you can. I bought them all the time, but you just need these 2. I was gonna heavily recommend this one. This was gonna be my second best friend. But truthfully, these are really interchangeable. They're not a difference whatsoever. That's what I believe. This is the first one. We're gonna do the Mugen dripper. Endless possibilities, which I believe it is, but the Hario V60 is that case too. You do 10 grams at first. You should have teared it out with this. The recipe calls for 150 grams, no bloom whatsoever. The second recipes and the third recipes will do bloom. But this one we're gonna do 50 grams center pour, 50 grams outer pour, and then 50 grams center pour, and that's it. Make sure we get all our water. Put this one to the side. And we're gonna be doing the Hario V60. We're not gonna rinse out the filters. It actually helps us with our assessment a little bit better. Probably not in the taste, but that's perfectly fine. It took about 1:20, okay? I'll show you what the bed looks like at the end. Now, I'm sure you're wondering why I use decaf. Because I'm doing another experiment on something else. I have a lot of different crazy coffees I'm looking forward to trying with my new grinder. So, decaf it is. 10.1. Exact same thing, no bloom. Now, I'm sure you're wondering why I'm just keeping it on one side. Because the water goes on the other side, so. And to keep it consistent, I'm doing the exact same thing as I'm doing for all the brews. And get the stir. Make sure we mix this through. Gonna take a TDS. So we're gonna do the last brew. Tear that out. We're at 10. Tear it out. Tear this out. And now we brew. There we go. It's done in about 12, 13 seconds faster. And mixed it through. And this is round one, okay? So I'm just writing some stuff down, okay? So first we're gonna taste the Mugen. There's some flavor there. It's kind of still under extracted, which is perfectly fine. We're not trying to brew the best extracted coffees. We're just trying to see what the extractions are, the difference of them with these brew methods. Usually whenever I do the one pour, I'm at about a 4 on the Fellow O2, and I did it at 6, so it should be quick brews, right? So let's go ahead and get a TDS of this. 1.10. It says 109. We'll take 110, okay? So let's go ahead and get the V60. We'll let that equalize and do its thing over here, but let's go ahead and taste the V60. It's flavor there, not as pronounced, about the same. Tastes about the same. I already know by doing this many times, I'm just coming in at the end a little bit more. When I do this normally at a 1:15 ratio, I'm about at a 1.5 TDS. So we're probably in the 16 to 17% extraction for these coffees, which is fine. It is what it is. Like I said, we're not trying to dial them in. We're just trying to make everything consistent, coherent, and the same. And we're doing the exact same recipe. The only difference is the brewers. That's all we're really doing. Because at the end of the day, that's the thing that you care about, right? You're like, okay, you did one pour. Okay, I normally don't do one pour. Can I do a couple different types of pours? Yeah, we're gonna do all that. But how many brewers do you really need? I have so many, mainly because I'm testing them and I'm on YouTube, and quite frankly, easy content. It really is. But you're spending your money. You're wondering if you're gonna actually use it. You're gonna see if you're gonna actually use it for a long term. And if you already have a V60 and you're on the fence about the Mugen, which I talk about, and now I probably don't recommend, it does promote you to try different recipes in order to get the best, but you could probably do the same thing in all these other brewers too. So let's see. So I got 1.16. So I guess it does matter a little bit to an extent, as we are doing this right now. 1.16, that's what we got for V60. So I was able to extract more, which is interesting. Why is that? Guess it doesn't matter. It is what it is. I can correlate it as much as I want to, but I just wanted to show you these numbers as they are right now. We're probably gonna wait another minute and we're gonna take another reading, and then we're gonna do the origami. So that also means that it extracts more with the same recipe. It's close. It's a little different, but it is showing some differences, okay? Let's taste the origami dripper. About the same. Seems a little bit more flat. It's hotter though. Coffee tastes the same, under-extracted, bland. There's some flavors on the edges, if that makes any sense. There's no like lingering type of acidity that I usually get when I get under-extracted coffees. This is a decaf, so that's probably more so I'm tasting the processing. It is what it is. This is my assessment to you right now, okay? Okay. Just take a reading, but we're gonna wait another minute. Makes sense. It's a faster brew, no matter what the way you look at it. Right now it's like 1.08, which is slightly lower than the Mugen, but that's fine. As you can see, here's the bed. And you can see probably the watermark when I dumped the rest of the coffee to make sure it landed with the Hario V60 assist. It's the other one. See a water spot too. 1.07. Let's just say the we'll just take the higher number, 1.08. So round one, the V60 extracts a little bit more than the one that's supposed to be the one drip brewer, okay? By 0.06 degrees more. I don't know what that means, but as you see, they're very close, still very unextracted coffees. When I'm tasting, they all taste the same thing. This is just more of a literal type of interpretation of what's going on, okay? So let's go to round two. This one is gonna be simple, I guess. We're gonna do a 30-second bloom straight in the middle. Wait 30 seconds. Then after 30 seconds, we are going to do an auto pour for the rest of it, and that's it. To get us 150 grams of water. So let's get going. Just wait. We'll do about 41 seconds because it took about 10 seconds to actually pour. There we go. That 151 grams. Remember that this is a Hario V60. I'm just gonna take this off. Still going. About a minute and 40 seconds. Mix it through. Take a sample. And wait a little bit, and then we'll drink it. We're gonna do the next one, which is, let's do the Mugen. And again, you can do all the recipes that I'm doing right now with the Mugen as you can do with the Hario V60. Again, so why would you need this, right? That's really what we're talking about here. Kind of went over. I don't know if that's gonna make a big difference. We're gonna wait our total time about 40 to 41 seconds. And then we're going to just do one pour out of pour. So I think this is probably one of the saving graces with the Mugen actually. That's about 135, 140 for the other brew. And it's still taking its time. It's still taking a longer time, contact time with the brews and everything. So that should help promote it to extract more. Theoretically, right? Deal going. This is great. It's a good experiment. Maybe I do recommend this one. Maybe I don't. Still 2 minutes and 30 seconds, almost a minute more. Remember, 50 grams. We're going to be waiting about another 30 minutes, 30 seconds, 30 minutes, 30 seconds. I don't know what I'm talking about. Almost there. And this one should be the fastest brew still because of to me, the exaggeration of the ridges and stuff. Remember, taking this all the way up to 150 grams. Went over a little bit, 151.9. Take this off and let it do its thing. It's actually taking a lot longer than I anticipated. It was all good. Just let it do its thing. Still done in a minute and 40. Taste the coffee. A lot better, more robust. Probably still slightly under extracted, but it tastes like coffee now. It's getting there. Sorry, V60, okay? 1.23. 1.23. 1.23. Not bad. Still going up. So we'll come back to it. We'll sip one more time. Try not to get any backwash on it. Sorry telling you that you need more pours, right? Okay. Still going up. So we're going to come back and do this again. So 2.4. Okay. Like I said, we'll do another reading when we come back on this. All right. We're going to do the Mugen now. Cheers. Okay, about the same. We already know that the brew takes a little bit longer because there's no ridges whatsoever on this actual coffee brewer, which means it promotes slower brewing, so more contact time. Theoretically, but you know, the whatchamacallit did the same thing too. Close to it, okay? But we're gonna see, I'm tasting about the same in all these brews so far. It's flavor. Okay, 1.32, which makes sense actually. This is fun. I would assume that this was probably be the weakest one just because how fast it actually goes through the bread. The V60 and the Origami ended about around the same time. So let's taste it. Yeah, it's a little The acidity is there more. There's no deep robustness of the flavor. Just fine. This is the bed for the Hario V60. This is the bed for the Mugen dripper. You see it's very similar to the Hario V60. It did get on the ridges, of course, but it's about the same consistency. And of course you have grounds at the bottom, majority of the grounds in the bottom. I think that bloom did help to settle the grounds. This is the Origami. Most of it's at the bottom. There are some on the sides, but it was a fast brew. When I come back, we're gonna do the TDS of these, of the Origami. 1.19, which makes sense. That actually does make sense. 1.19. Okay, I think we're ready for round 3. Okay, here's the last one. This one is gonna be the 3 pour. So we're gonna do a 30-second bloom on the inside, and then we're gonna do a 50-gram outer pour. We're gonna wait about 10 seconds, and then we're gonna do the last one, the center pour. Simple recipe, I think so. Wait about 10 seconds for all of it. We're gonna go from there. Okay. First one is gonna be a 50-gram center pour. We're gonna wait about 30 seconds. This is for the Origami dripper that we're doing this first one on. And we're gonna leave the kettle off for all of them. Outer pour to 100 grams. Got another 6-7 seconds for it to do its thing. Now we do the rest of the 50 grams. We're not gonna touch it. We're just gonna let it drain all the way out and let it do its thing. So this brew is done in 1 minute, 50 seconds. That's what the bed looks like. Okay, let's start our readings. Let's do the Hario V60. 50 grams center pour. Wait 30 seconds, outer pour. 50 grams. Take this all the way to 100 grams. Let it completely drain out. That's about 1 minute. So we're gonna wait till the minute mark. And we're gonna do the rest of it in the center. So the water is completely out of the drip assist. Remove it. Still draining out. It's taking a little bit longer as expected. So about 2 minutes brew. This is the brew right here. Nice, evenly distributed. That's what it looks like. Looks great, right? For the Hario V60. We're still gonna mix it around. We still need to get a reading. So now we're gonna do the last one, which is the Mugen dripper. So now we're gonna tear it out. We're gonna do 50 grams. We finished about 10 seconds, so we're gonna wait now until the 30 seconds are over. Still got another 15, 16 seconds. Outer pour up to the 100 grams, okay? Wait till all of it dissipates, and we're gonna go ahead and start pouring at the minute mark, as we did for the other two. And then we're gonna finish it off with a center pour, 50 grams. And I don't see any water going down, so we're just gonna lift it up and let it do its thing. This one should be the longest brew. I think the Hario V60 was at 2 minutes. Oh wow, right, just slightly about the same. So let's just say 1 minute and 56, 57 seconds. Now we're done with this. And this is the bed of the Mugen dripper. Looks like the Hario V60, actually looks like all of them, okay? Nice evenly brew. We're gonna mix this through and we're gonna drink it soon. So we're done now. And it's time to taste the last iteration of this craziness, okay? So the first one we're gonna have is the Origami. It ended really fast, about 1 minute and 30 seconds, which to be expected because that's what the grooves really do promote, a faster brew. So let's taste it first. Oh, a lot better. Still getting a little bit of a decaf taste on it, but it's more robust. It's more strong. Some of the flavors are coming in a lot more compared to what it was before. Let's get a reading, 1.27. And that's actually the highest reading for the Origami dripper with a 30-second bloom and a 2 pour recipe. So now we're gonna go to the Hario V60. Cheers. Tastes similar to the other dripper. Not as strong as I thought it should be. This brew lasted about 2 minutes. But still robust. similar to the 1 pour or the 2 pours. 1.38. Probably because I've been drinking a lot of coffee. I haven't been really going back and forth with rinsing my mouth, but that's okay. 1.38. So that makes sense. It's more contact time in the cup. And from pairing that, it does make sense for it to start to go up from there. So that is the Hario V60 dripper. Tried and true, right? It's one we all have. Here's the Mugen dripper. It's hotter, so the perception of what I'm tasting and not cleaning my palate is more so the same compared to all the other two that I just tasted for the 3 pour. Nice robustness, nothing kind of crazy with this brew in particular, and it does taste fine. Tastes fine, no issues whatsoever with it. Probably hitting it a little too early with this TDS, so let's let it do its thing. Right now it's reading like 1.32, which kind of makes sense. It was about the same time as a Hario V60, which yeah, okay, essentially the same brewer. You know, you can see a bigger change in the brewers as we talk right now from the Origami dripper versus the Hario V60 regular, and also the Hario V60 Mugen, which that's kind of like where I was at, because you see the root grooves are not as pronounced as you think that they are. But when you look at the Hario V60, it's essentially already flat. Mostly these grooves do something. It does get the water out as fast as it can, but it doesn't promote that because it's not as pronounced. Look at this one. This one's, there's nothing there. This one essentially is nothing there. But with the Origami, as I said earlier, it is crazy pronounced in the way that it just wants the water to escape as quickly as possible. Let's go ahead and one more reading and then we'll conclude this. 1.33. So Origami for this pour, 1.27. The Mugen dripper 1.33 and the Hario V60 1.38. So they're relatively close to each other. As you can see, for round 2 with the 2 pours with a 30-second bloom, I got the Mugen to be 1.33, 1.32, which it is kind of like right now with the 3 pour. The Hario V60 is 1.24, 1.25. Mugen 1.19, 1.20. And then as you do less pours, it's less extracted, which makes sense. It's less contact time, just 1 pour, less agitation because you're not doing multiple pours and all that stuff. So it is what it is. I guess really what I'm saying here is that what are the benefits you get from the Mugen dripper versus a Hario V60? What is it? Is it slower? Yeah, it is slower. Is a Hario V60 slower too? Yeah, it is. Slightly faster. I guess the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway, at least for me, I don't know what you get from this, is that the reason why I picked up the Mugen dripper is because it promoted that 1 pour. And truthfully, if you think about it, all these brewers can do 1 pour. I do that quite a bit when I use the Mocha Master and I put one of these brewers in there if they can fit. I can't slow down the pour. It just does 1 single continuous pour. So the way that you kind of manipulate that as much as you can with any of these brewers is through grind size, because you can't really change that up in a 1 pour situation. But in the 2 pours, 3 pours, whatever else you want to do, type of magic that you want to do with your coffee, you're going to have to do different recipes or similar recipes. And as you do similar recipes, you're going to have to ask yourself, what are you tasting that's different? Because at the end of the day, you can just stay with this one. Don't get me wrong, this one's a lot of fun. You can have a little bit more versatility, playing around with grind size and all that stuff, but you can do that with any of these, right? This one just makes it a little bit more interesting because of the exaggeration that it does present you and how you have to probably approach it differently. But if we're talking about a Hario V60, and if you have a $10 brewer like the Hario V60 is, do you need to get this? No, you don't. You don't need to. I will highly suggest that you don't. I love the Hario Mugen switch, but essentially it's the same thing as the Hario V60 switch. It's not pronounced enough. These grooves, even though they're flat, this is to the extreme, but the V60 isn't that much more compared to what this one is. Because again, all this really does for you is just promotes to exit out as quickly as possible. You can mitigate that a little bit more with different filters. And I think that's where you can do the best that you can if you're trying to emulate different things in your brews and different tastes that you're trying to get out of this whole thing. You can do the same thing with here. So if you already have a V60, stay with the V60. This I don't recommend. I really don't. It was fun. It was great. It's cool. Yeah, I can play around with different things. It promotes really good extraction from an ugly bed, but this one does too. So this is Oki at Everyday Beans signing off, and I hope this is helpful for you. I know it is what it is, that you just saved $10, but I think it's more than that. I think we can play around, promote different recipes with this right here. Don't get me wrong, I love playing with different gear, the nuances, the things that they do present, promote, and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you're just trying to manipulate flavor through a coffee filter, through different shapes and sizes, and for the most part they all do the same thing. So pick your poison and have fun. Talk to you later. Bye.